Beneath the golden haze of dawn, the late Cretaceous world came alive. Mist curled over ferns and cycads, sunlight splintering through towering conifers. Rivers gleamed like molten silver as they wound through the land, reflecting a sky streaked with amber and rose. Somewhere in this ancient wilderness, hidden beneath a tangle of brush and fallen leaves, a tiny egg trembled, cracks spiderwebbed across its surface. Inside, life stirred warm, urgent, unrelenting. The shell split, and the hatchling emerged, slick and trembling. Its eyes were bright with instinctual fire, limbs awkward yet precise. It took its first breath and felt the pulse of the world, the vibrations of earth, water, and air coursing through its small frame. This hatchling would be called Raze, though the world had no name for him. Only hunger, only need, only survival. The mother raptor returned, her amber eyes scanning the forest with a predator's precision. She brought Aquila, small mammal, still warm and quivering. The hatchlings chirped and lunged, but Raze struck first, teeth piercing the tender flesh. It was not cruelty. It was life, raw and unyielding. In that moment, a spark ignited within him, a hunger not just for food, but for mastery of the world around him. Days turned to weeks. Raze learned quickly. He chased lizards across sun-warmed rocks, stalking insects through ferns, practicing the precision of his claws and teeth. His siblings were quick, but he was quicker. His mind, sharp and probing, began to sense the patterns of the forest, the whisper of wind through leaves, the tremor of prey in the soil, the distant roar of predators larger and hungrier than himself. The forest was alive, and he learned its rhythms. He watched a herd of Protoceratops graze, noting how they clustered, how the weak lagged behind. He observed carnivorous rivals, young and bold, claiming territory with tooth and claw. Raze began to understand what survival demanded: patience, cunning, and the relentless pursuit of opportunity. One dusk, as amber light bled across the valley, the pack moved into the open plains. Storm clouds churned overhead, low and dark, and the wind carried the scent of distant prey. The raptors fanned out, muscles coiled, eyes sharp. Raze circled, stalking a juvenile Protoceratops separated from its herd. Heart hammering, tail flicking, he lunged with surgical precision. The prey's scream split the twilight. Success was sweet, yet fleeting. Shadows moved across the plains of Tyrannosaurus, a mountain of muscle and teeth. The pack scattered. Fear was immediate, but Raze froze, calculating, observing. Flight would cost energy. Confrontation might cost life. The giant predator roared, then vanished beyond the trees. Raze exhaled, muscles tensing and relaxing in rhythm with the earth. He had survived this encounter. His mind burned with clarity. Adaptation, mastery, survival. Seasons passed. Volcanoes smoked on distant ridges. Forests shifted. Rivers swelled and dried. Raze grew into a lean predator, his feathers darkening, claws sharpening, mind honing. He hunted alone now, the remnants of his pack scattered or lost. Solitude was no longer a weakness. It was a crucible. He learned silence deeper than the roots of the trees, swiftness harder than river ice, patience sharper than bone. Raze became a shadow in the wilderness. He moved through the undergrowth with ghost-like grace, stalking prey that had no notion of the predator above them. He learned the subtle art of strategy, circling a herd until the weak strayed, isolating, then striking with precision. Every kill honed him further, every threat survived, sculpted his instincts into perfection. Yet he was not only predator. He was witness. He watched the sky darken with flocks of pterosaurs, listened to the distant call of a triceratops herd, marveled at the fiery glow of volcanic ash falling like snow over the forests. The first true test of his mastery came with the coming of drought. Rivers dried to trickles, prey became scarce, and rival predators grew desperate. Raze adapted. He hunted with meticulous efficiency, scavenged with care, avoided confrontation with giants, unless advantage lay clear. Hunger pressed against him like a living weight, yet he moved forward with purpose, instinct fused with cunning. One morning, in the haze of heat and dust, he stumbled upon a wounded Protoceratops trapped in the underbrush. Hunger flickered in his mind, but so did something unexpected, a fleeting consideration. He nudged the prey free from debris, watching as it limped to safety. A flicker of awareness, an understanding beyond instinct, stirred in him. Life was not merely teeth and hunger. The world pulsed with interconnected threads, and he was a part of it. Years passed. Raze's body rippled with muscle, his claws and teeth weapons honed to lethal perfection. He encountered rivals, often other velociraptors, stealthy and daring, tyrannosaurs looming as mountains of destruction, ancient crocodiliforms lurking in rivers. Each encounter shaped him, teaching balance, patience, and the wisdom of when to strike and when to wait. His domain extended from volcanic ridges to fern-choked valleys, from sun-drenched plains to the shadowed banks of slow rivers. One fateful dusk, the earth quaked as a distant eruption sent a column of ash and fire spiraling skyward. Raze stood atop a ridge, surveying his world, trees shivering in the wind, rivers choked with ash, prey fleeing in panic. Lightning split the sky, the roar of the storm mingling with distant tremors. The world seemed to convulse, alive with threat and awe. From the shadows of an ash-covered copse, a rival emerged, a massive velociraptor, scarred from battles past, its eyes, bright and calculating, fixed on him. There was no pack here, only territory, only dominance. They circled each other, muscles taut, tails flicking, claws rasping against stone and ash. This was not a fight for sustenance. It was a trial of legacy, of mastery, of primal will. They lunged, teeth flashing, claws slashing. The forest echoed with the sounds of combat, growls, screeches, the crunch of leaves and bone. Raze moved with precision honed over years, anticipating, striking, retreating. The rival faltered, then surged again. Dust and ash swirled around them like smoke from the heart of the world. In the end, Raze stood victorious, chest heaving, wounds sharp but survivable, eyes burning with the quiet fire of triumph. As night fell, the forest quieted. Stars glimmered above the volcanic haze, cold and distant. Raze moved through the darkened ferns, muscles relaxed but alert. He had survived storms, rivals, hunger, and the inexorable march of time. He had endured, and in doing so, had become more than predator. He had become a force of nature, a living emblem of the wilderness he ruled. Yet the world was vast, and life relentless. Somewhere beyond the hills, rivers, and forests, challenges waited. A shadow in the underbrush, a distant roar. The glint of teeth in moonlight, all reminders that dominion was never permanent, only earned moment to moment. Raze paused atop a ridge, tail swishing through ash, head tilted toward the stars. He breathed in the scent of earth and rain and distant fire. He was alive, strong, a hunter, a survivor, a shadow moving through the eternal wild. The forest whispered around him. The wind carried secrets he might one day uncover. And though the night was dark and the future uncertain, he knew one truth. He would move, he would hunt, he would survive. And somewhere, in the vast prehistoric world, his story would continue unwritten, untamed, endless.